Hi everyone, I'm Kim. Oftentimes I'll be behind the camera so you won't oftentimes see my face, but I thought I would at least get in hello and welcome to the class around three-legged stool making and a little bit about how to do some green woodworking. I first want to put it out there that by no means am I the expert. I made my first stool probably around 2002 or so that had green wood as the legs. I actually did an internship in Hanover, New Hampshire in a middle school classroom for woodworking. The instructor's name was Richard Starr. He wrote a book that I'm going to reference a ton throughout the class. And his classroom did a lot of hand tool woodworking, and this was a popular project that he did in his class. So that's where I got my first taste of it. Then we got to fast forward all the way to about 3 weeks ago is when I did my next one. Since then I've done another one, and so with the class, this will be my third one. So I'm not trying to pose as an expert, but more of, hey, this is what I really enjoyed doing. These are the tools that I had to work with, and I really like sharing knowledge and experience and bringing others to, interact with me and learn from each other and building community. And so that was the main goal, and a secondary goal, of course, was helping Pratt out at, just trying an alternative way instead of asking for an exact class enrollment, supporting Pratt by becoming a monthly donor. So that's sort of what birthed this class, and I hope that you'll enjoy it. So right over here, hopefully you already caught a little bit about me making the blanks. I got like this behemoth over here, but I just wasn't having much luck with grain run out using the fro and the maul, so I decided to leave those aside, and that I would just do a lot of draw knifing if I end up using this blank. I'm definitely going to use this leg blank. This one doesn't have so much of a true knot in it, but you can see the undulations around the knot with the grain. I've used some of this wood and some of my other stools already, and it's workable, but it's a little bit more unique and not as ideal for sure. And then these smaller ones that have already been broken down a little bit more are definitely going to become the stretchers. I am excited, even though this one's going to take a lot of dry knifing. It's got some really pretty straight grain, so I'm excited to bring that one to life. If I was feeling more ambitious and wasn't having as many troubles with the grain run out when using a fro, and a lot of that just comes from being probably new at using a fro, I would have, even tried to get a leg and a stretcher potentially out of this, but that just seemed too ambitious for kind of the results I was getting. So I've got some chunkier pieces there. In the background, I've got some leg examples. So this is roughly the diameter that I was taking things to when it was wet. And kind of get a sense of that. And obviously I'm keeping this one around to talk about knots in the class. And then this one technically is a knot right there, but it's a very enclosed knot. And for how I'm thinking that my stools will be used, I'm not concerned enough about them to not use this. So I would definitely use this. And then this was sort of the diameter that I was taking my stretchers down to. So I've got backups in case, like I will just, for this class, work on 3 legs instead of also paring down a backup for it. So if people are feeling super ambitious after this recording and you want to take all of your rough stock and get it to this diameter, I guess this isn't final diameter, but this is the diameter I took it down to just lose some water moisture. You could probably even take it down a tiny bit more than this, and especially for the legs. I was aiming to just get slightly under 1 inch in diameter as my finish dimension, and my stools have been around 16 to 17 inches tall and definitely going to be used for sitting. And they'll also get used as end tables and plant stands, because we have a lot of indoor plants, but that kind of gives you a sense on I wanted a stool to be multi-purpose for all three of those functions. And then my primary tool is going to be the draw knife. I can't say that by any means I'm an expert in using a draw knife. I've definitely used it on and off throughout life. And in college, for sure, I got exposed to them, and then plenty here at home. And so yeah, my understanding, and I definitely do use them in both directions, so I can pull towards me this way or this way. So feel free to go at it in both directions. And then I have a spoke shave. I have a much nicer spoke shave than what this needs to be used for. So it has a much tighter mouth, and you're going to take a pretty aggressive spoke shave to work through this material, because this is going to take a fair bit of time. And so I have to end up pulling this blade out often enough and getting the blades out of it. So if you have something with a wider throat, all the better, or wider mouth, I think is actually what that would be called. But and then because this wood is super wet, at the end of the session, you want to take your blades out, fully dry them off, even oil them down so that they don't rust. And then my plan is that these blanks will actually go back into the bag so that I can have them for a class. So my goal through this tutorial is to get at least 1 or 2 of these blanks all the way down, and then save some for the live session of the first class. So let's get going.